death, this destruction.
Global news impacts us.
We have to change the way we live. This is why we need independent media.
Cheers and salutations. Good morning. Hope all of you are doing well. This is going to be a special Hardlands Media morning live stream. There's been some recent events that have taken place, and the story is currently still developing. However, it is important to bring up this discussion as it has been brought up numerous times in regards towards Dr. Cornell West's run for the People Party for the 2024 election cycle. Now, we here at Hardlands Media have been very consistent. Hey, vote independent, vote third party. That's where my perspective is at. Now, as for you, the viewing audience, hey, vote however you feel like. I understand a lot of us are burnt out by electoral politics. However, there was an event that both Indie News Network and a good friend of the show, Case Study QB, covered in regards towards workers' strike back that took place in Manhattan, New York City. Now, again, there were a lot of people there. It was a great power panel, such as Chris Hedges, Brianna Joy Gray was there, as well as Socialist Alternative leader and commentator, speaker Kashama Sawant was there as well. And an interesting 2-minute video clip was made public, taking place in the evening at around 9:26 p.m. Yesterday. And so far, again, this story is still developing, but it's important that we talk about this, especially with the lack of ballots that the People's Party has. So in regards to this, I want to pull up this video that was kindly posted by Indie News Network. Now, Case Study QB has also posted this video up as well. I urge everyone to please follow Indie News Network and Case Study QB if you haven't done so already. So without further ado, I would like to share this video and give you my thoughts on what this could potentially mean for this entire election cycle and whether or not Dr. Cornel West stays with the Green Party. Because as it's becoming evidently clear, while there are people who want to vote third party, there is some hesitation with the People's Party. And again, it only has access to 3 states. And last time, I think all of us checked the good old map of the USA. We are 50 states. And we have covered numerous times on our show just how difficult it is for a third party candidate, be it Green, Libertarian, or Independent, to get on the ballot and, dare I say it, even get on the debate stage. So without further ado, let's play this video.
Hedges, about this announcement that Cornel West is running. He's decided to run with the Movement for People's Party. I know Socialist Alternative, Workers' Strike Back has advocated for a new party, a new third party. There have been questions about why not run with the Green Party. MPP has been embroiled in a degree of controversy over the course of the last couple of years. And I wonder what you make strategically about of that particular choice and how the left should look at it.
Just off the record. I've been playing with my phone because I set up a meeting with Cornell and the Green Party for a long time.
Today is Saturday, just so we all know. Now, again, anything can be taken place between now and if there's any kind of potential change. However, again, this is something that Dr. Cornel West and his campaign will have to deal with. Now, I will be replaying that video. However, again, let's be very clear here. I want there to be a successful third-party movement in this country, and that includes People's Party, that includes Greens, Libertarians, whoever else comes along. But the key thing is ballot access, and also in this day and age of social media, everything's out there in the public. And we all know that the Greens have their problems, the Libertarians have their problems, the Democratic and Republican establishment parties have their fair share of problems. Movement for People's Party also has its problems. And here in Illinois, just as an example, when we interviewed the Illinois Libertarian Party and the Illinois Green Party, their stories are the same. They have to get twice the amount of signatures just to secure themselves to be on the ballot. Dare I say it, occasionally in some of our interviews where we covered the various election cycles, they had to get up to 20,000 to 30,000 signatures. That's way more the amount of signatures they need to secure here in Illinois than what the Democratic Party or Republican Party has to deal with. Now, there are many rules and roadblocks that prevent third parties all across this nation. Some are far more draconian. Some, I say this lightly, probably more liberal. But again, third-party candidates have a mountain to climb. Now, I know we all have our fair share of criticism of the Greens, but at least they can get on the ballot. Same thing for the Libertarians. They can get on the ballot. People's Party is only on 3. Now, a lot of the goodwill that the People's Party has had has potentially evaporated away. It has its fair share of scandals and disappointments. There's no arguing about that. And if Dr. Cornel West is serious, he will have to build a strong coalition. And there is the very real possibility that it may not be the People's Party to lead that way. Let's rewind this and just hear again what Chris Hedges is potentially talking about here. Because again, Chris Hedges and Dr. Cornel West were both with the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016. Both have been strong advocates for something different than the Democratic Party. Let's hear this again. Oh my goodness. The video was not up. Apologies for that.
I've been playing with my phone because I set up a meeting with Cornell and the Green Party for tomorrow morning because of the issues you just raised.
Recommend a Green Party run, any alternative, or? I'm recommending that the Green Party, that Cornell runs as the Green Party candidate.
Yes! 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 Yes, please, please, please do it.
But yeah, I share all your concerns, and just on the issue of ballot access, the People's Party doesn't have any. And having worked with Ralph in his campaigns, I saw all of the impediments, most of the Democratic Party throws to make it impossible for a third party candidate.
So that's what took place yesterday. Now, I do wish Chris Hedges all the best and potentially maybe shaking up the entire conversation in regards towards whether or not Dr. Cornel West changes being green from People's Party to green. But then again, anything can happen. Nothing's written in stone. But however, again, on Russell Brand's show, when Dr. Cornel West made that announcement that he's running with the People's Party, that was made public for millions upon millions of people to pay attention to. Now, again, this is still the early stages of any campaign. Anything can happen. And if there is any kind of update, we here at Hard Lens Media will definitely be addressing it and talking about and sharing it with you, our viewing audience. There are two things I want to bring up, though. And this was an interview that was done by Sabby Sabs, where she did ask Dr. Cornel West, did the Green Party reach out to you and ask you to run under the Green Party? So I want to have everyone hear this commentary. And I think it's important that we hear this overall commentary of Dr. Cornel West and his association with the Greens and whether or not there was any kind of outreach.
Issues too. There were allegations of the Green Party rigging their primary for Howie Hawkins. It seems that there is some type of a rift with the Howie Hawkins faction of that party. I am curious, Did the Green Party reach out to you and ask you to run for president under the Green Party for 2024?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. But they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have. I had a wonderful dialogue with Brother Howard. I've known him for many, many years when he ran before. And as I say, I mean, I just have a great respect for different comrades. You know what I mean? It gets me in trouble. I mean, you got the Revolutionary Communist Party, my dear brother Carl Dix. I've been to jail so many times we can't count. My sister Sarah Taylor. He's my brother and she's my sister. You know, and even Brother Ovakian, you know, even Maoist, he running the Revolutionary Communist Party. When I'm in prison, their folk are in prison. When we in the streets, we in the streets together. When we go to jail, we in jail together. We have deep disagreements on things, but we got to love for poor people and working people, you see. And so I'm not one to be running around scared of associating with different groups and so forth. I'm a free Black man. I don't have any of these problems of being able to connect with other groups and tell them where I disagree and where I agree and so forth and so on. You have to be able to be in anybody's house, White House, crack house, your mama's house, preserve your integrity, honesty, and decency, and be the force for good you are in whatever context. And everybody falls on their faces. But so I'm not one to ever, as you can imagine, you know, I'd never trash, you know, a Green Party, a People's Party, a Revolutionary Communist Party, Angela Davis's old Communist Party when I first met her. I was never in love with the Soviet Union. I was glad they supported decolonization and so forth. But no, I'm not one. We're going to treat our Jewish brothers and sisters unfair in the Soviet Union. I'm coming at you. If you're going to repress dissenting voices in the Soviet Union, I'm coming at you. But I love the fact he supported Nelson Mandela. Oh, yes. I can agree with that part of the Soviet Union when it was in place and we had the old Communist Party. You see? And I learned from, you know, Paul Robeson and W.B. Du Bois's and the Claudia Joneses, the Mary Barakas and so many others who were communists. But I'm not a communist, brother. I'm just a revolutionary Christian trying to love my crooked neighbor with my crooked heart.
Now, there's a couple other things I want to bring up here too, because again, let's talk about ballot access. This is from the Green Party. Now, Dr. Cornell West has already made this commitment, at least for the time being, that he's going to be associated with the People's Party. As it stands with the Greens, here is where they are in regards for ballot access. And this is from their own website, right? And I think it's, again, very important that we remember that the Green Party, as a political movement, as an organization, they have to maintain ballot access so that they can be ready for the next election cycle. And again, this is from their website, ballot access. And again, what they have maintained so far. This is where they stand. The states in which the Green Party on the ballot for 2024, the great state of Texas, Oregon, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Arkansas, Louisiana, Florida, North and South Carolina, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Michigan, etc. The other states, however, and again, Montana currently unclear, Delaware as well, and apparently Washington, D.C. So again, other states, it's going to be an uphill climb. I, again, see my state, Illinois. When I say that my state is extremely draconian towards Greens and Libertarians, I am not joking. We have a treasure trove of interviews, and all the interviews are the same when we have interviewed the Libertarians and Greens for the 2018, the 2020, and 2022 election cycles. It is a arduous task for those third-party candidates to get on the ballot. And I have to commend the Illinois Libertarian Party for going above and beyond and securing most of their candidates to be on the ballot, running for the key election seats that were up for grabs, including the governor's seat. So that's something that the Greens have to contend with. Now, People's Party, they only have 3 states. What is a better idea to do, in my honest opinion? What the Greens, People's Party, and all other left independent groups will have to do, especially if they are really considering about going for the run for the third party candidacy for the 2024 presidential election cycle. Perhaps this is the call and need for a joint coalition movement, something that Bernie Sanders would never do. If that is possible, it could be done. Now, again, each state is going to be different? Would Dr. Cornell West have a better chance of building a movement with the Greens? And the answer is yes, for now. But then again, you still need far more support. Let's be very clear here. In 2016, Dr. Jill Stein's campaign only got 1.1% of the vote during that election cycle. Libertarians, about 3% of the vote. They need to up their game and start building the infrastructure now. And People's Party is not even at the starting line. I do wish them all the best, but let's be clear. Running as a third-party candidate is an arduous task. I do want to bring up this idea of potentially, if there is a joint coalition, who would be his ideal campaign manager? And Dr. Cornel West needs somebody to be his general. So let's pull up this interview. Again, this is from Sabrina from her show. Please be sure to check out the full interview after this live stream. So I'm going to pause it right here, and I will continue on with the rest of the video. There are some issues with the People's Party, the numerous scandals that have surrounded it. Now, again, if you want to run a successful third party, you need to have the infrastructure set up. Moving for People's Party, to be clear here, as much as I support third parties, doesn't have the infrastructure, from my perspective, to effectively grab the attention of the people. And there have been many people burnt by both the People's Party, but also by the Greens, by overall the left movement in this country. Because with the aftermath of Bernie Sanders, whatever remains of that coalition is bitterly divided. And I doubt anyone can really potentially pull it together unless people are willing to make some drastic changes. Let's play the rest of this video.
Two.
Oh, my apologies. Let me go ahead and pull this video up.
You mentioned Chris Hedges and you mentioned Medea Benjamin.
Yes.
Do you have an idea who your campaign manager would be? And if so, can you share that information with us? And what do you think Chris and Medea's roles would be in reference to your campaign?
Well, no, I appreciate that, because the thing is that the Brother Nick Brown, founder of the party, been leader of the party, even given all the different charges against him and what have you, and I still understand him playing a very, very important role in terms of his history and his present, and so we have to be able to hit the issues of the charges against him head on. And it's true, that he brought it to me as campaign manager in that sense. And so it's not going to be a question of me in any way trying to, what would be the right way, trying to act as if he has not been indispensable in preserving the party, and I would not have a campaign without the party and his invitation. But the question becomes, how do we collectively speak to these particular challenges? And how do we ensure, most importantly, that it is not a distraction from the people's business? We keep the focus on the suffering and the resistance and the need for institutional and infrastructural development. So that's how I respond to that particular question. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, again, looking at that, what can we take away? The People's Party under Nick Brana has yet to really change anything, especially with the fact that since its announcement, since its creation, since its initial introduction to the people, it was met with overall support. But as time progressed, especially when there's the need to get on the ballot, to get on the debate stage, or either that to meet the standards that the Greens have met up with, this is where the Green Party stands. People's Party only has 3 states. Green Party, about 21. Now, again, the issue for Dr. Cornell West is who has a better chance of doing a better outreach and being another alternative for progressives, for independents to vote for. As much as they have their own fair share of problems, the Greens is a far better choice. However, the ink is already dry. He has made his announcement. Now, again, whether or not they have this meeting and whatever comes of it afterwards with Chris Hedges, the Green Party, and Dr. Cornell West, if there's an idea of doing a joint coalition movement that's accepted by every single perspective, and maybe Nick Brana potentially giving up some control of the People's Party, or Dr. Cornel West running under the Greens and the People's Party assisting, then we have a different conversation altogether. Now, as it's been covered by corporate media, it's been very clear right now that the establishment media views somebody like Dr. Cornel West as a distraction. And already we covered, and as have numerous other independent media outlets have covered already, they are trying to smear him as somebody who is right-wing, or that he shouldn't be running at all because it's a danger for Democrats. Again, that is a myth that should be easily dispelled, because even if Gary Johnson and Dr. Jill Stein did not run or threw their support behind Hillary Clinton, again, popular vote doesn't matter. What matters at the end of the day is always, always the Electoral College. Yep. So, again, we'll see what happens. And for those of you who are just tuning in, this is what took place last night.
Professor Hedges, about this announcement that Cornel West is running. He's decided to run with the Movement for People's Party. I know Socialist Alternative Workers Strike Back has advocated for a new party, a new third party. There have been questions about why not run with the Green Party. MPP has been embroiled in a degree of controversy over the course of the last couple of years. And I wonder what you make strategically about of that particular choice and how the left should look at it.
Just off the record. I've been playing with my phone because I set up a meeting with Cornell and the Green Party for tomorrow morning because of the issues you just raised.
Recommend a Green Party run in the alternative, or? I'm
recommending that the Green Party, that Cornell runs as the Green Party candidate.
Yes! Woo! Yes! 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 Yes, please, please, please do it.
But yeah, I share all your concerns, and just on the issue of ballot access, the People's Party doesn't have any. And having worked with Ralph in his campaigns, I saw all the impediments, most of the impediments that he throws to make it impossible for a third party candidate.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, especially as this entire update news for Dr. Cornell West potentially meeting up with the Greens. We'll see if there's any kind of concessions being made or the idea of a joint coalition. Now, again, could there be some potential for Dr. Cornell West to build a movement behind him with all independent parties and organizations working together? The answer is yes, there is. With the People's Party, though, I think the vast majority of groups are going to demand it to either step aside or not play a pivotal role, maybe acting as support. If that's the case, then I open up democracy to the chat, and I'm very curious to see where all of you stand in this. Would you be behind a third-party movement with Dr. Cornel West and the People's Party being associated with it? Type 1 if you would be in support of this kind of movement, that you think that there could be some great changes, and that maybe there's a chance for a third party to shake the foundations of this political system that we have here in America. Type 2, anything associated with the People's Party, it's got to go. I don't think it could work. Dr. Cornel West needs to make a change and drop the People's Party. I'm very curious to see where all of you stand on that. So again, no updates as it stands right now. But until then, I told you folks that 2024 was going to be an interesting year, and we're already in 2023. We'll see if there's any kind of new changes that will take place. But until then, folks, stay tuned with Hard Lens Media. Glad to have all of you here with us. I hope you're taking care of yourselves for this wonderful Saturday morning. Have a safe and great weekend. I'll be seeing you guys around. All the best to you. We did get a couple of super chats here real quick. Let me go ahead and acknowledge that. Shout out to Deconstructing Topics, $10. Good day, my independent thinkers. I would like to see West in the Green Party to get him on more ballots. I'll be working on my podcast today, The Philosophy Behind a Uniparty. And also, Laura Baza said, sink them yachts, rock them yachts, Gladys. White Gladys must hate the yuppie yacht rock. For those of you who don't know, the killer whales in the Straits of Gibraltar have been sinking their fair share of yachts. As it stands right now, killer whales 250, humans 0. So the boats are losing the great orca war in the Straits of Gibraltar. So, all right, shout out to our orca comrades out there. Be safe. Keep your heads on a swivel. Keep on winning, all you lovely people. Take care. All the best to you, and we'll be finding out more, perhaps maybe later this evening, if there's any kind of changes. Peace.